the archetypes of Glastonbury, especially Mary Magdalene and Yeshua and Joseph of Arimathea, as well as King Arthur and Guinevere, who also represent that alchemical marriage that Glastonbury really represents through the Vectra Pisces that the Chalice Well holds very dear, where you have the balance of the two and the Vesica in the middle, which is the union. So I feel so much part of the Glastonbury mystical tradition. I'm also a certain that's how ancient mystics like Mary Magdalene and Joseph Arimathea have always worked, as well as priests and priestesses of the Druid traditions. I mean, they have their certain focuses, but really to attune to the energies of the now, because it is always fresh and always transformational. As we every day we move into the Aquarian age, stronger and stronger, we're co-creating that, and creating a much more peaceful, loving world together.
Really.
Well, I think it is the hundreds of ley lines that meet on top of converge on top of the Tor, on top of the Glastonbury Tor Hill, that are they're like streams of consciousness coming from the heart chakra of the planet, and people feel them, people connect to them, and they kind of are shown this sacred land of Avalon, or someone mentions the name Avalon or Glastonbury, and it kind of triggers some memory, some knowing, some gnosis in their brain, and then they go, oh, I'm going to look into that and research it. But also the waters, like you say, are a huge part of the sanctity of Glastonbury. That those healing waters really flow the same way the ley lines flow around the world. They become the seas, the oceans, the lakes, and that water that comes from here holds memory, holds consciousness, and people do connect to that. But people underestimate the power of the water, the consciousness in water, and how transformational that is. And so, the very important kind of, the work you're doing, reconnecting to the divine feminine, through Mary Magdalene, who was really the founder of the Celtic Christian Church, through the way of love, to really everybody to get into their union state in their heart, because it's not only reconnecting to the divine feminine in your heart, but balancing it with the divine masculine, and knowing that we hold that union, that divine balance of masculine and feminine inside of us all. So men can be far more compassionate to women, and women can be far more compassionate to men, and not see all these divides and constructs that have been kind of put in place to distract us and confuse us.
Because
it's a massive concept, and of course you had Yeshua, or Jesus, the man, the family man, and then you had Jesus the teacher, and then you had the Christ, or maybe Jesus the teacher was the Christ, but then you had the Spirit, which is the Christos light, which is what we are connecting to now. Yeshua said, don't follow me, be like me, and he was saying basically, empower, in receive the Christos, and give the Christos. That is what he was doing. He was receiving the Christos and giving the Christos. And but I do also believe that the Aquarian age, possibly for a very long time, maybe going back to Atlantis, that it wasn't so much about one person bringing in this Christos light. It is a collective consciousness. And they built the Wattle Church in Glastonbury out of muds and sticks because they wanted it to be accessible for everybody to be part of to connect to. They weren't interested in building big palaces of gold or anything like that. So really they were promoting, as the Druids were, a very simple and a grounded practice, because the Essenes, as they were all part of the Essenes, they were brought up in the Essene culture. Practices were very much about returning to nature, returning to the heart, getting into the heart, in finding that love and channeling the Christos. That Mary Magdalene was the Grail. She was receiving the Christos light and giving the Christos light. That's what the Grail represents, to be filled and to be shared. As will be regular meetings where I'll be sharing practices to connect to all of these kind of aspects, getting people connected to the energy of the Aquarian age, and to be part of it, to help co-create that age for the future of love and peace, basically. I've invited many teachers that I respect and honor to be part of it, and for they can bring in their aspects into the journey together, and also people part of the school. It won't just be open to everybody. People will have to apply to enter into the mystery school as traditions kind of dictate.
It's exciting, and I'm also very honored that you have invited me to be part of it too. I can't wait, so thank you. It's just beautiful. But I love the way that it is so authentic. It isn't like you said, it's only going to be for the true seekers, the
Mhm.
ones who are really wanting to bring that into being and to really learn. So it's
The Glastonbury Mystery School not only being present in Glastonbury, but also being more of a global experience that people feel connected to that energy as well, because Avalon, which is Glastonbury, is more of a spiritual dimension that you can connect to wherever you are in the world as well.